Hey guys, it's Sarah's Knight and I'm back with part 5 of Let's Play Mega Man X5. And, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot, by the way. It turns out I absolutely failed to video record the last time, so you missed about 30 minutes of game footage, but the only thing I did was grab extra items from one of the stages. Nothing storyline-wise has happened. So as you can see, I got the Falcon armor now. The last part was in, that part in Duff McWhalen's stage that I just couldn't seem to figure out how to get to it, but it turns out all I had to do was use his weapon just far enough to the edge of the screen without going all the way over and ducking down when shooting, and it bypassed the wooden barrier that was hanging down, hit the bomb, and destroyed everything out of my way. I also noticed something else. One bad thing about the Falcon armor is that even though you have that incredibly nifty ability to hover around, which, I can show you that in a second, you still can't charge X's special weapons, and of course the Guy armor, I don't think you're able to utilize the special weapons, period. And I was kind of wondering why, but then I saw in the walkthrough the mention of something called the 4th armor, which I think was pretty much the same as X's normal armor, except it takes half damage just like Falcon armor, and you can charge the special weapons. Well, I mean, that would have been incredibly useful to have, but for some reason, if you start the game out as 0, if you do the first stage as 0, I don't know why the 4th armor just becomes unavailable for the rest of the game. It's not something you even have to actually get. It's it comes automatically. Whoops. Oh, well, that ultimate buster really helps. It comes automatically with X if you start out the game as him. I don't know why. I really don't. Why? I mean, how you find that you're able to, play as 0, and of course, a lot of people are going to want to take that opportunity, just like in X4. Well, you miss out on a really good piece of armor that would help you defeat the Mavericks rather easily because of its ability to, because you only take half damage. I mean, that makes things a lot easier. And wow, even though the Falcon armor's charged shot looks incredibly sissified in comparison to X's normal charge buster, wow, it really gets the job done. I guess it does a lot more damage, even though it doesn't cover as much an area. But yeah, it would have been nice to have that. And the only thing, as far as I know, that enables you to have it is starting the game out as X. For some reason, it just becomes available, and unless you just want to personally impose a challenge upon yourself, I don't know why you'd ever play as normal X then. I don't know, maybe with the Falcon armor, even without charging up, the special weapons do more damage too, I'm not sure. Otherwise, I really can't explain how those larger Mavericks die in one hit. Okay, so somewhere along the way here, there's a... Yep, managed to pick the right time too, to fly on over. So yeah, that's the Falcon armor's, hovering ability. You just jump, press the jump button again while in midair, and hold on to it while guiding X around, and there you go. So there's another part for the Guy armor. Let's see, we have both energy tanks. Yeah, they only allow you to have 2, just like in X4. I can't remember if they did that in X2 and X3 as well, but in X1 you were able to collect 4 different energy tanks, and honestly, you kind of needed it. I mean, the final version of Sigma in that game was by far the hardest. Well, that is, unless you found the half damage armor, I guess. Okay, so also we can go into the jungle and retrieve what I think is the final part of the Gaia armor. And then I think that'll pretty much be it for covering items. I know there's a heart container in every single stage to get, but I'm not too terribly worried about that. I don't know why I bothered to even try to avoid the Sigma virus, because again, I don't know what it does. That made things a lot easier. Yeah, usually the charged versions of X's weapons actually make them useful, even the ones that were already not useful, like that tornado from the Skyver. Screw that thing. Okay. I'll just go past it, whatever. Very heavy and lacks mobility, so you won't be able to use weapons. Still be very useful because you will be able to walk on damaged areas. Yeah, that's the main highlight of Gaia armor, is you can't die from spikes, which is cool, but still. Oh, Giga attack. I totally forgot that the Falcon armor can do that right there. The thing is, I think you can only do it once per life, yeah. So it's not that great. So yeah, as long as we got both energy tanks and both armors, well, I think we're ready to go on to the final stage. If it turns out I need to worry about grabbing the heart containers, I can always go back and do it. I mean, you can, luckily, unlike in, for instance, Dr. Wily's castle, back in the original Mega Man series, you know, after completing every segment of the final stage, you just end up back at the stage screen. It's like, you know, your place in the final stage is saved, so you can go right back to where you left off if you want to go back to a previous Maverick stage and grab an item. Now what we're going to do here, since we're able to play as both X and Zero because we saved the Earth from the colony crashing into it in time, I'm going to try to do this in the opposite order that I did the last time I played through, which was starting with X and ending with X, because there's 5 stages. I just alternate between X and Zero the whole time. So now I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to go with Zero first, and then X, then Zero, then X, then Zero for Sigma. Extra life. And for some reason we have 8 extra lives right now. I don't know when that happened. Oh yeah. Okay, first of all, I imagine this whole game takes place underground, and I'm just grabbing extra life every single time I die at this point. I don't know what the deal here is. I don't know what .11f so on and so sorry I hiccuped, so on and so forth even is. It's like, I don't know, it's like some kind of high-tech disco place where you'd expect the killer from that movie The Collector to be hanging out, because you got all these laser traps that kill you instantly. Ooh, that was close. These guys aren't a problem as long as, I mean, with normal X, yeah, you kind of have a problem, but as long as you have the spike ball from Axel, the red, they'll pretty much die in one hit, and Zero's in danger right now. I guess we're about to find out, possibly, what being infected with too much virus does to you. Okay, and here we go. Yeah, I knew there were a bunch of lasers down there again. And for some reason, the virus is in the form of Zero instead of Sigma. I think that was just bad writing right there when Ailey was like, hey, maybe we should call this the Zero virus because it's a combination of the virus on Eurasia and the Sigma virus, even though I think those are the same thing. And how would she know to call it the Zero virus? How does she know it has anything to do with Zero? Does anybody know except Sigma that he was like the original Maverick or whatever? Oh! Almost. Kind of reminds you of Quick Man stage, doesn't it? From Mega Man 2. Honestly, if Wily ever wanted to kill Mega Man, all he'd have to do is invent a bunch of stages like that, even if he couldn't afford to put spikes everywhere. And I flew too close to that particular laser cannon right there. Oh, so if you get hit by this twice, you're already in danger. Zero in danger from his own virus, whatever. I think that was the very last one I just got hit by. Okay. Okay, that wasn't the last one. I never managed to do this on my first try. It always took me a while, no matter how many times I played this game. I really don't know where we are, what this place is supposed to be, but I mean, technically, you always know in the X series. Like in X2, it was the X Hunters, you know, castle, and in X3 it was Dr. Doppler's lab. In X4 it was the final weapon that the Rekla Force was creating. And here, what is it? What is this place? But it's a lot larger than any of the final stages in the previous X games. So for that I'm grateful. Hey, the more gameplay you got in the X game, the better. Almost had it. I wonder if Mega Man's Gaia armor would be impervious to that. Probably not. And even if it was, even if it got you to the final boss, considering what it is, I mean, not the final boss, but the boss of this particular section. Considering what it is, I don't think the Gaia armor would be much help. And I think this is the battle at the end of this is probably one of my favorite battles in the Mega Man franchise. It's mainly the music. It really gives a sense of danger, and the background is really creepy. And also, it's a shout out, a more powerful version of it to a boss you'll definitely recognize from the original Mega Man series. Oh, so they can actually shield against the Giga attack. That's interesting. How many times is this going to take me? I guess if I darted away instantly with a slide jump, I probably would have made it past. And that was embarrassing. Thing is, if you like, what I really hate is that if you try to move around during your jump, well, if you get too frantic, you end up pressing, left or right twice, and Zero will do his, air slide in that direction. So, which naturally is a handicap right here. Because once the lasers go off, they don't retreat. You're screwed. I think. I don't know, maybe there's a certain weapon that actually defeats them if you can... I don't know. I never tried. Almost. Zero Virus is just determined to get me. Okay. Oh, if I hadn't clung to the wall. I accidentally went too far over. I'm pretty sure that was it right there. Okay, and down we go. Or not. And one of the reviews that came FAQs on this game said it was too easy. He must be a pro then. And kept pressing in a direction twice by accident, which ends up making Zero slide. Just like that. I think I've hit that point where you try so many times you end up progressively getting worse. Ugh. I really wish I could just take away that ability to slide in the midair. Ugh. Okay. No! I wasn't ready. Who installed these lasers here? Honestly. Whoops. Yep. Okay, and down we go. Oh, so that's a double attack that you get from Axel the Red for Zero. I think the only thing you can do, though, is Zero's normal saber attack, but hey, it's nice. That was it. I know that was the last one. Oh wow, I was so close. Just barely down the side, and you really gotta have precise timing. I think I was actually about to say precise sizing. You know, when you, I know that's some kind of normal speech impediment that a lot of humans get, where they just mix up their consonants in two words. That was way too close to the wall. It's a good thing that, for the most part, the frames aren't lagging here, because that would really make this darn near impossible. Okay. Landed a little bit too close. Honestly, I think on my first time ever playing through this game, I actually made it in less tries than this. Here we go. Or not. There was still more to come. Oh, wow. It's a good thing the Maverick Hunter base has a limitless supply of resources to fix Zero when he gets blown to pieces. We ought to consider, funding for installing these lasers at the front of the base so that Dynamo can't attack again. Because I know he's definitely not nimble enough to get past these if Zero isn't. Okay, here we go. Clung to the wall. Yep. Clung to the wall again. Really, once you get going, you can't stop. And had I landed just a little bit farther away from that laser, I would have made it. There goes that air slide glitch. Well, not a glitch, it's my own fault, but it's so easy to do. And landed in the wrong place. Whew, this is taking a while. I think I've been on this one section for like the past 10 minutes at least. Okay, deep breath, SK. Hey, yep. I didn't get moving the very split second I hit the ground, which you need to do that if you want to have any hope of making it past that. Ah, oh, come on. Even with only the ability to jump and shoot normal shots, it was easier for MegaMan to get the Quick Man stage, I'd say. Okay. Let's see. Luckily I have that to block. And not that though. Man, you need to know the exact layout of the ground before you even land on it. Here we go. If the lasers were just a little bit slower. What I hate is that I just had bad, tainted memories of the Resident Evil movie franchise with that stupid laser corridor in the first one. You know, the one that cuts you into pieces, but you just sort of have to take a few seconds to realize it before you start slowly falling apart and all that other crap. God, those movies suck so bad. Half the cats died in the first movie before they even ran into the first zombie. That was way too close to it. And then they just kept going and going and going, even though there was like one survivor from the first film. They're like, hey, let's make another 4 films based on Alice. I think everybody just wanted to see more of naked Mia Jovovich. That was pretty much it. Paul Anderson is, I mean, if it wasn't for the first Mortal Kombat, he'd be very nearly as bad at ruining PG movies as Uwe Boll is. Okay. You just really need to get moving the minute you land. Of course, you could slide in midair and get yourself a little bit closer to the edge where you have to jump off, because the laser's not going to cinch you until you land on the ground. But the thing is, there's such a small gap there, I just know I'll end up, you know, sliding ahead of time and clinging to the wall above, which, you know, would get me hit by the previous laser. Yeah, I went a little bit too far into the air that time. Couldn't even escape that one. I think I've already died more times in this one section than I would have if I played Mega Man 1 through 8 back to back. Actually, I'm not so sure. I've only played X7, Mega Man 7 once in my life. Okay, here goes nothing. And I went off in the wrong place. If I'd moved off to the right instead, I'm pretty sure I would have made it down in time. Clung to the wall. Honestly, I could have gotten through the first 4 stages of Mega Man X4 the entire time it took me to get through this one part. Ugh. Hi. Just ignore you. You know, I just now realized something, and I cannot believe myself. Darkhold. I have that. From the Bat Maverick, Zero and X get the same special weapon, and I cannot believe I forgot to use it all this time. It freezes time for quite a while, so it would really make this whole thing so much easier. And I cannot believe all this time I was... Wow, I'm sorry guys. You just wasted like 15-20 minutes of watching me fail on account of... I'm an idiot. That's totally my fault. Here we go. Well, I'm definitely going to make it through a lot easier. And of course, you know, just like every other special weapon, it's refilled automatically every time you die, so... Whoop. Whoops. I cannot believe I forgot to use this thing. Although it would have been impressive if, now that I think about it, it would have been really impressive if I made it without it. Okay, now if we die right here, I believe we go all the way back to the beginning, but luckily these are a lot easier to avoid. There we go, at last. Okay, so you'll recognize this character. You've got a lot more powerful version of Shadow Devil. Yellow Devil from the original Mega Man series, which I know showed up at least twice, but here he's quite a bit harder. And he's called Shadow Devil, as you can tell. And if you go too far over into that green outline, it automatically kills you, I think. Yeah, the worst thing is he actually has he has like 3 or 4 different patterns of flying across the room, so you just have to catch on in the first barrage of his individual parts which one it is which pattern it is that he's taking, so you'll know when to jump and when to duck. That one's probably the easiest one to avoid. Now he's weak to the Tri-Thunder attack, but in Zero's case, it's that electrical uppercut thing, and that brings me too close to him, I think, to where I'll just end up getting hurt. And honestly, it doesn't have any more reach than this attack, so why use it? don't know what's the deal with this background. It's like Sigma's really trying to intimidate you with a weird, vague outline like that, or either that or that's Dr. Wily's symbol. I'm not sure. Whoops. That was stupid. Well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just fight the bullet using energy tank just to get through this. There'll be plenty of opportunities to recharge on the way to Sigma, I'm sure. The thing is, though, I have to be very careful. He does get more powerful once his life starts to get down to about a fourth. In fact, I think he stops right here in the middle of breaking apart, and then he really starts to rape you. And then the rest of him comes on over. The worst part is, I think he turns into like a... Okay, thank God. Yeah, if I gave him the opportunity, he was going to turn into his eye would have disappeared. He would turn into an invincible shape that would just, you know, start chasing you around the room. And for some reason, I think if he touches you during that time, you're instantly dead. So a very interesting idea they came up with for that boss, while at the same time, you know, paying homage to the original Mega Man series. Now we'll go ahead and get the second stage out of the way before we call it a vid. And again, guys, I am so sorry for putting you through that last 20 minutes of fail when I could have made it so much easier on myself. Yeah, it's a wonder, you know, let's try the guy armor just for kicks. I mentioned, wow, I never remember having to try this many times. Well, no wonder. I knew to use the time hold attack to get through the most difficult part of it. So, yeah, guy armor, you know, can't use any of your special weapons, but unless an enemy runs right into you, that Giga attack is not going to cut it either. As you can tell, his shots really aren't any more powerful than normal either. Which you think they'd allow you to... They'd at least allow you that much since you can't use any special weapons, but... And Dr. Light's saying it's not very mobile, but you can still slide. So, I mean, why can't you use special weapons if you can't? I don't know, I guess he was saying special weapons will weigh you down even more. Maybe that's what he meant. So the armor just can't hold up over it, but at least you have immunity against spikes, and I know there's a few of them in this stage, so it'll be useful. And his original shots even sort of, I don't know, they just fade out a few feet in front of him. Overall, I mean, it's not a bad idea for the spy community alone, I guess. I mean, if you just have a real problem with falling onto spikes all the time, then this is probably the way to go. And this, I just now noticed this too, with guy armor you can hang on to the wall without sliding down and having to constantly, you know, reattach yourself in order to keep them. If you're just trying to avoid falling down onto spikes or something like that, or trying to take a moment to see what to do next, then it's useful. And it definitely makes this part a lot easier too. Having to go up here, except I just now realized I don't have Falcon armor, so I can't simply go through the air. But at least I can take a lot of hits while trying to make it up the wall. Now, if I can, yeah, if I could have just made it to that piece of energy right there. So overall, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a bad idea. It's just, and I guess definitely if the boss, you know, if there's not really any special weapon that's going to help you in that stage, and there's a lot of spikes, well then definitely it's better to use Guy Armor over like regular X, especially for a boss, especially for Sigma. So yeah, and just cling right onto these spikes and we're good. And I always wonder why they put this ledge up here. There's nothing on it. Like nothing. What was the point of it? And here we have another returning boss. You might recognize that signal. That signal from Mega Man X1, which was the signal that Sigma uses. I think I tried to say Sigma and signal are the same. But I really like it though. It's like an even more powerful version of the. I think its name was Ragnabonda, something stupid like that. I don't know why Sigma named it that, but he sure enough did. I don't remember where I heard the story, but it was something like, I don't know, before Sigma's first attempt to take over the world or whatever and destroy the human race, he was just out in the South American jungle or something like that, and he found Ragnabonda as like the front wall guard to some ancient ruins or something. He's like, I can utilize that. And I guess it'd be something to utilize if you ever wanted to guard the entire front end of your hidden base or whatever. So as you can see, not a problem here with Guy Armor because you don't have to worry about falling on the spikes. And since that went surprisingly well, we'll go ahead and take care of the third stage as well. Now this is the most interesting part. This is where things finally come to a head. Because if you played all the previous X games, you might wonder why there seems to be, and it's not even real, I was about to say cryptic, but it's really not. There's always a mention of, you know, what if Zero becomes Maverick? What if X becomes Maverick? And I mean, I think it even said plainly that at the end of X2, I believe, that one day Zero and X may be destined to fight. And I always thought people were just blowing steam just to keep you. I mean, whoever wrote that was just blowing steam, just, you know, keep you interested and seeing if there was actually a story that would, you know, become kind of a, you know, become really epic or something by continuing the X series. And well, it sure enough happens right here. If Eurasia crashes into Earth, if you allow it to do that, well then you have to play through this whole entire thing as X and Zero becomes Maverick. So they fight there, but even now, X and Zero have to fight each other at the end of this stage. So if you play as X, you fight Zero because, I don't know, Zero just shows up and X is like, hey, what are you doing here? Zero's like, what are you doing here? And they get all suspicious in front of each other, and well, that was a much shorter stage than I thought. But, you know, if you come here as Zero, X appears with lightsaber that you'll see here in just a second, and why there's two lifesavers that appear here, I don't know. I guess there's more than one. It's like there's a particular lifesaver is just a generic name for an entire series of Reploids that were created. I don't know. So Zero's like, "What are you doing here?" And X goes, "I'm worried about you." Well, if the virus is literally everywhere and you're that worried about X and Zero being affected, why is X here? And Lifesaver immediately accuses Zero of being a maverick, even though if Zero was, he'd attack them instantly. Zero's like, "Do you mean that, X?" So they get their feelings hurt, and X goes, "Well, I'm just worried about you. Please go back to base, and I'll cover it from here." And Zero's like, "No, you go back. Maybe you're a maverick." And really, they're just being stupid here. But I like the fact that, you know, finally, all those omens from all the forewarnings from previous X games finally come true here. And I'll tell you, I like fighting as Zero against X a lot better, because X just becomes a real badass here. And even Zero's admitting it's a trivial matter, so why are we fighting? But you think as the only two who are really capable of fighting Sigma, they would not take any chances. But yeah, check this out. X is just seriously overpowered. And the music here is really awesome too. So this is, if I had to choose like top 10 favorite battles in the entire Mega Man series, along with the Shadow Devil battle previously, this would probably be another one. I wonder if he's immune to Zero. Well, I wonder if he's weak to Zero Buster. That'd be almost a joke. Good lord, X, chill. Giga attack? Oh. Yeah, X has like kind of like basically 4 different power-up attacks. His normal shot, which is it's a lot more powerful than what you see on any of the armors he can wear. He also has like an ice attack, a fire attack, and finally that, you know, multiple soul bodies just flying out at you thing going on. And where he got this armor, I really want to know. Because it's... Oh, the Giga attack works surprisingly well. Oh! Yeah, he also has a tornado attack. Cool. There he goes. And you know, it really is just silly though when you think about it. They could easily kill each other here. But of course, for the sake of being able to continue the X series, neither of them do kill the other one. And I don't know what Zero meant by that. Attack with Soul Body? What did that do to him? So yeah, they're there, both badly hurt, which is a perfect opportunity for Sigma to show up and take advantage of the situation. And what Sigma was trying to do here, I'm not sure, other than kill him. I don't know why Zero said, "I know what you're trying to do," like it's something you wouldn't be able to guess. And why Sigma runs away, I don't know. As badly hurt as the both of them must be. Okay, so yeah, we only have 2 stages left. One where we fight all 8 Mavericks again, of course, and finally there's another short level before getting to Sigma, and that's the end of that. So we'll do that next time in part 6. And thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you later.